What's up, everybody? DeFi Afterparty here, and I'm excited today because there is a new protocol that recently launched called ERAGE, and I wanted to get AJ in the line from EMP and help explain what this is because he did a AMA with this guy named Coolsheet, who I believe is the main developer or owner of eRage, and maybe AJ can comment on that in a second. But I wanted to get AJ on here to explain and kind of do a deep dive because AJ did a AMA with Cool Sheep previously, and I was looking and hearing about this, and I'm like, this thing seems like it's really cool and it has some really cool bells and whistles. Because if you know me, I'm very pro, very uh, hyped up about eShare, eShare Maxi, if you will, and I think this could be something that takes eShare, for the lack of a better term, to the moon. So, everybody, here is AJ. AJ, say hello to everybody and let us know what eRage is, brother.
Yeah, no doubt, Christian. Glad to be back, bro. I always love doing these AMAs with the DeFi after party. And yeah, man, this is the latest and greatest. So regardless of bull market or bear market, we're always building, right? And now it's gotten to the point where it's not even us that's really building, it's community members building on top of our infrastructure. And that is the most bullish, right? I mean, to be able to have other developers and other builders embrace, the economics of what we're doing and then utilize everything that we have, whether it's bonds or eShare or all these different mechanisms to then make the token stronger. It's really inspiring, and especially people again that are putting in the work for their own bags, right? Like you and I and everybody else, we obviously want to make money in this realm, but a lot of times it's just other people speculating on the success without really putting in any bricks of their own. And so that really is what gets me excited. And Cool Sheet's been really one of the most talented community devs we've had. He's really taught himself through AI. And obviously everything is still audited. We get our devs to look at it, make sure it's safe. But that is the power of technology and where we're at today is that any community member, because he had no technical background, other than a few years ago, getting involved in AI. So all of that is really bullish, and this is the latest release. A lot of you might remember Hot Chicken, which is more of a game, a take on proof of weak hands. For those that are OGs and remember that contract, but this is really what we call a ratchet token, and it's a financial instrument that really allows you to just stack your eShare, which again I know you're really bullish on, Christian, because like most of us, or at least the ones that are here every day are eShare maxis. So yeah, man, happy to go over and make it as simple as we can.
Awesome, glad to hear that, man. um, there's a lot on the screen, and I don't know if we even have enough time to go over every number, every digit, every graph, every column. So why don't we just start off with you know for a lot for in a fifth grader's term, or the best way a fifth grader can understand it, what is this thing designed to do? Because obviously we see the eShare symbol token on here, and we also see another token called Rage. So what's going on in a simplified form?
Yeah, no doubt. So this is what we call a dual-backed Ratchet token, meaning there are two assets, in this case, eShare and Rage. And obviously, all of you are familiar with eShare. It's the only token in our ecosystem now, under the EMP umbrella. Obviously, we have GDEX and PLAZM and Universe Madness or Grim Gold. But this is what really represents the economic energy within Fusion. And Rage is another great protocol Again, same fundamentals, real yield, real backing, and it's another ecosystem that Coolsheet has been good friends with and developing for. And so we've decided to bridge not only tokens but also bridge communities. And when I say bridge, I don't mean going to other chains. All this is on base. But I mean basically combining, you know, the momentum between both tokens. So the short answer is ERAGE is again, you take half eShare, half Rage. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, meaning one eShare and one Rage will produce one ERAGE. But that number ultimately goes up over time. And you can see in the upper left right there, the backing ratio, it rather than being at 2, which again, it starts at 1-to-1, it's now 2.23, meaning the collateral backing has already pushed the price up, uh, 0.23 in that ratio, meaning you're now getting more eShare and more Rage when you do redeem from the LP. So that is again super cool in the fact that rather than just letting your eShare or Rage sit in your wallet, um, you're essentially guaranteed to have more eShare in the long run and Rage, and whether you keep either or sell one or the other or sell both. Again, the whole idea is that the token performs better with volatility, and that's where this chart on the left here really comes into play. So before I get into that though, does that make sense in terms of like fundamentally what ERAGE is?
Yeah, so we're basically taking uh, take if we have eShare and eRage, we're taking it and basically making it into or pairing it into eRage, right?
Correct. Yep.
Or if we don't have both of those tokens, then we could mint or zap in with ETH on base, and then it would make the eRage token or pair.
Yes, 100%, brother. And a great way to see that too is up there on the top right. You can see, if you type in 0.01 ETH, in that, yeah, it'll show you how much, yeah, E-Rage that will mint. And then you can see that, half of that essentially is eShare and the other half is Rage. So, and if you're doing it with ETH, that goes and buys it off the market, and then combines it. Um, and if you go to that next, yeah, if you see here, so yeah, and again, you may have to actually mint to see, but it's showing you what your eShare holding is in this particular wallet. But the whole idea is that you're getting, you know, um, you're getting E-Rage and I'm sorry, you're getting E-Rage with eShare and Rage that can then be broken down afterwards for more than what you put in. So, and then an easier way to see it too, Mike, if you go to the next page, at the top there it says Mint with eShare and Rage rather than ETH. All right, so this is a great example. So you don't have any Rage, but if you did, if you type in that first little box, eShare say 1, it will show you that you have to match that, with Rage. So again, and you're getting less because the ratio is up. Like right now, you're gonna get 0.87 E-Rage, rather than 1 because of this ratchet mechanism. So again, the sooner you get in, and the longer you hold, and the more volume that we have, that ratio will always go down, meaning your holding goes up. And so again, it's really cool in that regard. I know it can be a little complicated, but once you finally understand, it's super powerful.
Okay, so and when you say volume, we're talking about volume on the eRage token, or are you talking about volume on the eShare and Rage token independently, or is there a combination of all of that?
Yeah, bro. So that's a really great question. And The short answer is that it's actually both. So obviously, when I'm speaking of volatility, I mean more directly the volatility of ERAGE itself. But what leads to that volatility is the price fluctuation of eShare and Rage. So again, and you can look at the docs as well, but there is a small tax on buying and selling that produces ERAGE. And so again, if the price fluctuates just even 2% um, overall, and that's influenced by the price of eShare or the price of Rage, then there creates this arbitrage opportunity. And it's perfect timing because what we're seeing right now is that is happening in real time. So if you look at that chart, and just since we started, we're seeing it move into the green zone, right? So when it's in the green zone, that means that either eShare or eRage or Rage has gone up enough that now the price is above the collateralization, um, and it produces an arbitrage. So if you go scroll down to the bottom a little bit, and it shows you, it tells you right there, green zone efficiency. It's actually telling you how to take advantage of the arbitrage. So when we're in the green zone, which we are right now, what you would do is you actually mint ERAGE and then sell it on Uniswap. So again, what that means is you would go back to the top up there with ETH. You would mint ERAGE with ETH. And then yep, that right there. So and again, we don't necessarily have to do this in real time, but I'll explain the flow. So
Let's just do it.
yep.
I want to see
All
how
right.
it works.
All right, let's go. So again, so just say 0.001 yeah, I don't know how much ETH you have, but you can just do like $1. So yeah, $2. Perfect. All right, so yep, mint E-Rage.
I'm
And
excited
then
to
this work,
see how
yeah,
it works.
yeah, bro, we're doing it in real time. You'll see. So there you go. And you may get a little bit of overflow. As you can see, you're getting 0.13 E-Rage and a little bit of dust of eShare. That's just because eShare is a little bit more expensive than Rage at the moment. So you're getting some cash back on that ratio, but nothing major.
Hey, cashback's always good.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so now we did that. Now you have eRage. Now, right here on the page, and again, shout out to Crucial because it's really easy. You don't have to open different tabs. You don't have to have, 5 different windows. Everything is all right here. So this little widget, yeah, that you zoomed in on. Again, shout out to our friends at BTT. This is a widget that they have built through SwitchX, or Switch, which is basically an aggregator that gives you the best price. So now, yeah, because we're in the green zone, it says to mint now and then sell on Uniswap. So yeah, you have it perfect there. E-Rage first, selling into ETH, and then to hit max, and you'll sell the E-Rage that you just minted. You may have to refresh, but it should be zero
Yes,
point,
sir.
yeah, yeah, 0.1 E-Rage, yeah. Yeah, it might be slow too since we're streaming, but all right, let's see. So flip that back. Yep, E-Rage to ETH and do the max.
I've had problems with this widget for some reason
Okay,
on my computer or this browser because the same widget essentially is on the PLAZM site, right?
it is. You're right, brother. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it does use, yeah, you're right. It may be a UI issue with that. If you are having issues, then it makes it a little harder, but we can go right to Uniswap. That might make it easier too. So we can do it on the stream here, but um yeah, maybe try one more time. We'll see.
because if you notice, like I keep trying to scroll down and it won't scroll
Oh
all the way
yeah, it
down
won't.
on the widget. So I don't know. There's maybe some kind of bug or whatever. Let me try this one more time.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll report that for sure. So
I wonder if it's because the widget is not picking up my wallet because, oh, you know what? There's a Connect wallet on the widget and I can't scroll down to see it.
Oh
That
yeah, to get to it.
I
All
think
right,
that.
maybe are you can you zoom out on the browser maybe? I don't know.
Mm-mm. That's
Okay, yeah.
that's as much as I can go. So
Okay, I
let's
won't go no
let's
more.
go to Uniswap. Uh, where's the token address? Because I know I'm gonna have to probably import it to Uniswap, right?
Yeah, so he just updated this. But again, he may not be able to get to it because oh there it is. So go on the upper right where it says ERAGE, the orange ERAGE button, it says 0.13. There's a little button that says swap in the upper right. It'll probably open it directly for you. Go down
Actually,
over oh,
if I copy this
or
right
that.
here,
Yep, you can do
that's the
that too. But it may open go if you oh you got it. I'll show you when you come back. Yeah. We're doing it. We're doing it for real. So, well, let's see. All right.
let's see here. So I think this defaults to ETH network.
Yeah, you may have to click base for sure. This is good, man. We're giving a walkthrough. I love it. Yeah.
Yep. Nothing like things going right or wrong on a
On an AMA, right? Yeah.
on email. Yep. Can I
All
just
right.
paste?
So paste. Yeah, paste that, and it should automatically go to base.
There we go. There it is.
Yep, there it is. Perfect. Yeah, it's a new contract, so sometimes you get warnings like that, but it'll go away. It's definitely not a honeypot. So, all right, and then go to ETH. As the second token, yeah.
So
All right,
basically, what
boom.
this was saying was that I minted for cheaper,
Exactly.
or I
And
spent
now you're
less,
selling.
and
Yep.
now I'm
And now
selling
you're
it for more.
selling. Yeah, sell it to ETH at a higher price, so you capture the premium, and that's bullish because number one, I'll explain it in a second. Let's do this, and then we'll go back and it'll show you.
Yeah, I don't really remember how much the actual cost was. I know it was like $2 and maybe it was like 225. So it's not like we're making $1 million here, but
Yeah, no doubt. Well, and the bigger you go, the more you can capture too. It just depends on how far out of range it is. And we'll see that in real time. After you sell, it'll show.
sorry, we're moving so slow here. The combination of this browser and as
Yeah, no worries, man.
forwarding going on and all kinds of shenanigans.
All
Five
right, perfect.
5 million approvals.
Yeah. All right, perfect. So now if we go back to eRage, the site, you'll see that there you go. So look, now that little green area, it went down. Now obviously it's only $2, so we're still in the green range, but you're essentially pushing that price back down into the blue zone, okay? And by doing this, you're actually making again, in this case it's only a few cents, but you're making the difference. So you're profiting in ETH immediately, and you're pushing the backing ratio up because every time you buy or sell ERAGE, again, because of those taxes and the volatility, it makes the backing collateral go higher. So it's a win-win. You as an individual are making money by doing this, and then number two, the ERAGE gives you more eShare and Rage respectively because we're creating volume, and that Ratchet system is working. So again, it's really cool. Oh, and I think you can do. Let me just check that real quick. If you go look on the E-Rage, it's orange on the far right. Um, there's a little button that says swap. That might be a way that you can. Oh no, sorry. Go back to ETH again. Yep, and then down farther. Yeah, right there. There you go.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
so if you hit that, that will bring you right to Uniswap to do it. So if you're having problems with the widget, it'll automatically populate over here. So yeah, and there you go. That's with the right contract address. So all right, so there you go. So does that make sense, Christian? And vice versa. If we're in the red, obviously if we're in the blue, you would just mint normally, at the top over there. But if we're in the red, then you're better off buying off of Uniswap and then redeeming for more eShare and Rage, in the app itself.
Okay, this is interesting. On the other AMA with you and Cool Sheet, I don't remember a demonstration of the actual minting or buying or selling. So this kind of like explains more of like really what's happening because once you see it and then you do it, it's an entirely different thing and way of understanding.
Yeah,
Um,
oh no, 100%, man. Yeah, and we will do more and more tutorials. I know obviously you have such a great way of simplifying it. But you're right. I think people do need to see it. So again, in your example, say we are in the red range, you would just go to Uniswap again, use ETH, do that, and then if you at the top right up there it says redeem ERAGE. Yep, you would go, you would hit that and then you would redeem your E-Rage, and it will give you eShare and Rage by doing that. So
gotcha. Okay, so let's talk about that then. So when you go to redeem, you redeem your E-Rage, and it then gives you, basically equal parts, I'm assuming, of E-Rage
correct.
and eShare, which,
Yes,
go ahead.
and in theory you're getting more. Yeah. So again, just generally speaking, you're getting more if you were to just go out on the market and buy, in this case, say you had $2 worth of E-Rage. If you're going on the market and buying $1 worth of Rage and $1 worth of eShare, you're never going to get as much as you would get by redeeming the E-Rage. You get more eShare and Rage than buying it off the market individually because of this. So that's where, again, it's bullish for those that want to accumulate eShare and eRage because, I'm sorry, eShare and Rage because you're getting a premium to the market by doing that. Now, you may have to hold long enough, like you can't necessarily do it immediately unless we're in the red range. Um, because you're not able to buy the discount. But over time, again, assuming there's volume, you can flip, and it's okay with this sort of token. It's okay to try to day trade. I mean, again, the volume is good for the protocol, and not a negative thing like we usually. Obviously everybody says buy and hold, right? Because we want the price to go up. Well, this sort of protocol um actually incentivizes trading because you get a premium depending on what's happening. So I think again that alone is bullish. And maybe you're not as bullish on Rage or on eShare. You could always sell one of those for the other asset too. So that's another way to still accumulate more of what you want to hold.
Interesting. So E so E-Rage, when you go to sell it, you get ETH for. But when you go like if I were to redeem right here, my E-Rage, and I click whatever max, and let's say it's $100 worth or so, and I'm getting basically $50 worth of E-Rage and $50 worth of Rage and $50 worth of eShare. Now I have both those tokens. And what is, I guess I know what eShare is paired with, and the main pair, it's main paired with ETH. But what is Rage paired with? Is that paired with ETH as well?
It is, yep. I think there's actually two pools, but it's ETH and USDC. So yeah, there's plenty of liquidity on Rage, as well that you could sell into, you know, any other asset, and you know, the whole idea is both, right? So like that's another cool factor in all this. Like if you sell your ERAGE on the market, you get ETH. You can redeem, and again, I use the word redeem, but it's really just selling. You can sell for ETH if that's what you want to have. And if we're in the green zone, that's what you should be doing anyway, because you're capturing the arbitrage. But if we're in the blue zone, or you want to have more eShare, then yeah, all you have to do is come to the app and redeem, and you get eShare and Rage, without ever worrying about, slippage or anything else, because there's essentially two liquidity pools. So there is an eShare, I mean eRage, ETH LP. That's what lives on Uniswap. And again, that's what is traded against. And then there's an internal LP, which I like to look at as like a treasury. And that's where you see, I think, like right now, the protocol backing up there in the upper left. There's like 400 eShare and 400 Rage in that treasury address. So that's what you get when you redeem your E-Rage. It pulls from that pool. So again, that's another really cool dynamic, because now that's why the arbitrage exists, because sometimes it's more expensive, or less expensive on the DEX LP, and sometimes it's better to just do it on the DApp itself. So because there's two mechanisms there will always be an arbitrage. And again, it's pushed up or down too, but the price of eShare or Rage. If we get a big spike in the price of Rage or eShare, then that arbitrage gets even bigger, and then you can capitalize on it. So it's really, like I said, once you wrap your head around it, it's really fun, because you can, basically buy and sell, and no matter what you do, you're always pumping your own bags by doing it. So again, it's really, really bullish.
This is interesting. I mean, I feel like it's one of those things that you got to keep an eye on because of the different opportunities that exist. Because just like you said, like right now we're in the green zone. So right now we should be minting and then selling. I mean, that's the bottom line, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
100%.
is there, here's, I guess, one of my other questions is, what is, in your opinion, because you kind of know how this thing works inside and out, and you obviously been in the development meetings, and you have just a better understanding of how it overall works. What is, in your opinion, something that people should be looking for or keeping their eye on? Like, what is kind of like the alpha? Because sometimes people come to these protocols and they might see a video like this on this protocol and are like, hey, I get the general idea here, but is there some secret sauce that we're missing? Because, for example, with DexFi and the vaults, you and I did AMAs, a couple of AMAs about that, but it wasn't really until I started like doing it myself and kind of just looking at it and experimenting and creating my own vaults that I was like, oh, I could use this in a different way than what I was originally told it could be used for. So maybe
Yeah.
there's some kind of secret sauce, if you will, that you have, AJ, that you can let us know.
Yeah, no doubt, Christian. So again, man, you know me, man. If I had some alpha, the DeFi after party would be the first people to hear about it, right? And obviously, we share what's best for you as the individual and for the protocol. But the reality with this is there really isn't any kind of advantage or disadvantage. It's really just based on timing. So I would say maybe just check. that the adapt once a day or every depending on your availability every couple of days, or maybe you're on the computer all the time, you can check every few hours, and really just looking at that chart. I mean, that is really what matters. And as you can see, it's only been live a couple of days. You did perfect there going to the 1 week view. You can see there's been a lot of opportunity over the last few days. We've had 3 opportunities to be in the green and 2 opportunities to be in the red. And if you just so happen to check the site when we're in one of those ranges, you can trade it. And again, when we're in that green or red zone, because of the arbitrage, it is essentially a guaranteed profit um, to be able to do that. So, and then over the long run, I would just, even to the point where maybe even I would do a separate wallet where I would start with $100, and I would just keep doing this over a few days. Mint in the green, sell it down when it goes back into the red. Buy off the market and redeem. And by doing that, you should, in theory, increase your position little by little by little, and now all of a sudden, $100 turns into two, three, $400, and you can use that to build your eShare bag as well, or just use it as again, a swing trading, um, strategy, because really the volatility is what matters, and that's what's cool. We don't have a prisoner's dilemma. We're not saying buy and hold. The smart money will use it to accumulate eShare, but if people just want cash flow, it's okay because that pushes the redemption value up. And now that the set it and forget it for those that aren't able to, come and buy, and I guess this is the alpha, if anything, is I would just mint ERAGE, or and do it through either ETH or eShare if you have it. You'll have to buy Rage to pair up, as I know a lot of our guys don't have Rage, but either way, with ETH or with eShare eRage, mint and just hold it because as others are trading, you will get more eShare and Rage out of the deal over the long run. So there's 2 ways to do it. If you're a little more passive, I would mint eRage as soon as you can, and just forget about it because over the next few months, the backing will be dramatically higher. And again, there's other factors like part of the LP fees will go to buy and arbitrage E-Rage as it is. I know Cruciate also has some other yield through bonds and LP positions that he's doing manually. That real yield will also buy and redeem. So again, he is actively creating volume as well. Because the only thing that really kills tokens like this is not having any volume at all. But we have everything in place now through bonds and through the dual back system. That volume is pretty much guaranteed. As we move forward. So.
Interesting. So on this graph, when it spikes, like right now it says, let's see, what does that mean? Right now it says, where it's bleeping 1.054. What does the 1.054 represent?
Yeah, so that means that we are 0. Are 0.05 above the backing value. An easier way to see that is that second card on the upper left. You can see right now the backing price is 16.51, and the E-Rage price on the Dex LP is 17.40. So that is the spread that you're seeing. Again, it's just denominated in single digits for the chart. But yeah, when essentially you're minting at 16.51 and selling for 17.40, and you're capturing the difference of whatever that is, what, 90 cents. So
Gotcha. So when this spike is higher, like for example, I don't know if you can see where I'm hovering, but the
yep,
the biggest spike on this graph or this chart, does that mean that obviously or basically means the bigger the spike, the more the price difference, correct?
exactly. And therefore the bigger the profitability in the trade. So if you would have been able to catch it on that spike right there, you could have probably made, again, we just did $2 and it moved it by like 1 point. But on that bigger spike, you probably could have arbed that for about $100, which would have been pure profit. So again, it's really cool when you are paying attention and find, that you got lucky and can do it yourself, and capture the spread.
Okay, well, tell John and Grover, I think, who's in charge of
Yeah, to
the
give you
site,
we need an
make it an
alert.
alert. We
Yeah,
need an
bro.
alert window.
Oh, I love where your head's at. Yeah, no doubt. We'll add that to the paid tier, right? No, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, the coffee tier.
Yeah, totally.
Well, this is cool, man. I I'm gonna mess around with it for sure and just keep an eye on it and see, you know, how much I can make or maybe build the eShare bag. Um, just because now that I see, when I've basically placed my bet or I've minted, now I see like, oh, okay, we mint, then we sell, we basically make some money off of that, and then I still haven't obviously did anything when it's in the blue or the red section. Um, but like you said, maybe one of the best things to do is just to mint and hold for a while and see how that goes.
Yeah, no doubt. So if you again, the two strategies, if you want to have a little more fun and pay attention, and potentially capture the ARB, then yeah, we would do everything we just said over the last 20 minutes. The other strategy is just to mint ERAGE, whether it's ETH or that other button pairing it up with eShare you may already have, and Rage, and doing that ASAP. And then just holding because again, the more volume, the more that backing ratio goes up, which means you get more eShare and Rage out of the deal over time. So yeah, it's real simple for either way, whatever your style is. And then the only other alpha I would say is maybe if you are gonna just mint, I would wait until it's either in the red or at least in the blue. So if you mint in the green, you will again, maybe not get as better or as best of a deal as if you would the other way around. So just keep that in mind. So yeah, but other than that, there really isn't any insider info. And the APR has been good. You can also see up there on the upper left, the live APR. Um, that is based on the price appreciation of that backing. So again, in theory, obviously this will fluctuate, but a 30-day average, that means that at the end of the year, you're going to get almost 60% more eShare and Rage out of eRage than you would have otherwise. So it can be really, really lucrative for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is just interesting to me because there's a lot of flashy stuff on here, right? And sometimes we get boggled down by that. Like, oh, what does this backing ratio mean? What does this E-rage supply mean? What is the protocol backing? What is the burnt blah blah? But the thing I only care about AJ is how much money is it making me?
Yeah,
Because
bro.
because
Totally.
that's what gets people excited. I mean, I'm not excited about graphs and things like that. I mean, even when you and I went through the Dex 5 vaults, all the graphs and buttons and columns and things like that, I was like, man, this is just for me. It's just a little too much overwhelm because I don't really like looking at graphs. I'm not really an analytical type of person. I think it's important to see data and understand it probably more from a bird's eye view. But I'm not one of those people that is constantly looking at overall data and making decisions that way. And maybe that's maybe that'll be my downfall at some point. But currently, it's not. And what I'm disliking is it's easy to, now that I'm talking to you and I see all of it and I've already, purchased or minted, it's just easier to understand. I mean, really, for all you people watching, if you don't want to bring in eShare and Rage, all you need is ETH on base. You come in, type in how much you want to purchase or mint, and that'll tell you how much ERAGE you're going to get. And then your only job is to either hold and wait it out, or your job is to, if it's in the green, like it says right here, to basically capitalize on the arbitrage or the price difference and then sell for a profit. I mean, that's all it really is, right, AJ?
Yeah, bro. Again, you do such a great job simplifying it, and yeah, and I think I even misspoke a minute ago. You actually are gonna want to mint in the red, not in the green. So, again, just keep in mind that that little legend at the bottom will tell you literally exactly what to do. In the green zone, in the neutral zone, and in the red zone, it tells you what is most profitable. So whether you're trying to flip it or like I said, if you just want to mint and hold, as long as it's in the green zone or the neutral zone, it's profitable to mint. And then in the red zone, you just go buy it off of Uniswap and push the price up. So either way, you're getting the best deal by doing it that way. So yeah, and everything else you said is spot on. The only other caveat too is obviously this just launched and liquidity is still pretty low. That will always grow as we continue this because again, when you look at the docs, you can see that part of the tax goes to adding liquidity and increasing the backing. But I would just do, about $50 per swap, so or mint. You might not want to mint more than that in one shot to begin with, and over time that will get better and better. You'll be able to do hundreds, and then eventually thousands. So just keep that in mind. At the very top, you'll see the little warning right there on the bootstrap phase. So yeah, just any trades, yeah, there you go. When the liquidity rose, that warning will go away.
Cool, man. Well, you know what? AJ, I thought we were gonna be able to spend 5 hours talking about this, but literally, I think that at least from my own being or my own mind is I'm pretty much understanding everything what's going on here. And I mean, yes, there is, more of the mechanics side. We could go on and talk about the taxes and what they do and where they go and how they act and blah blah blah. But I mean, the general consensus is, hey, we know how it works now. You just come in here and you mint when it's green, sell it on Uniswap or through the widget here and profit. And or if it's not in the green, go to Uniswap or use the widget here and buy in the red zone, and then it says to redeem for the full backing value. So I'm gonna experiment when I hit
Exactly.
the red and see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely, Christian. Again, you said it perfect that time. And the other really thing I want to end on here that's bullish, obviously, whether you're an eShare Maxi or not, if you are involved in the EMP mothership, you know how important it is that eShare is strong. And one of the things that will make eShare strong is the burning, right? And we talk all the time about already how low supply eShare is to begin with. If you look right there on that third card at the top, this has been 2 days, 2.5 days. We've already burned 4 eShare and 4 Rage through this. So again, just imagine where we are in a few more months, and when volume picks up, this could just be obliterating the supply of eShare as well. So that is really bullish. Even if you just want to buy and hold eShare, but using this mechanism, you can put your eShare to work, and get more over the long run, regardless. So, there's just so many tools in the toolkit to be able to win under the EMP umbrella. You just gotta participate.
So this brings up an interesting question then. Is there a eShare? Let's see, how would that work? I guess there wouldn't be. And I was gonna say, is there an eShare Rage pool? The reason why I was asking is because, let's say someone has a big bag of eShare, right? The only way to get in is, from what I've seen so far, is to mint with ETH or mint with eShare Rage. So, unless I'm forgetting about something, but let me finish what I'm about to say, and then you can correct me or let me know. But let's say like someone had a big bag of eShare, but they had zero Rage. The only way to get the Rage would to use one of the other pools, which I think you said is Rage USDC and Rage ETH. But what if, I mean, is there a pool that where someone could basically sell their eShare for Rage?
Yeah, so the short answer is no. I mean, in theory, anybody can create an eShare Rage LP, and some people may, and it is what it is if they do. But overall, the idea is that um, where eShare and Rage is held is in the protocol backing. So that again, in that third code right there, you can see 397. 85 of eShare and 397.85 of Rage. That is essentially a treasury address where it's not LP per se, but it acts as LP on the redemption side. That's where when you redeem, that's where the eShare and the Rage come from. So yeah, to answer your question directly, um, in that specific example, you would still need to buy Rage or eShare to match up with the other half, if you're in a mint. And people, like I said, they may do eventually an eRage, I'm sorry, an eShare Rage LP. And honestly, that might even be interesting over the long run because that would add even another element of arbitrage to move the price up and down. So again, that's the cool part about DeFi. Anybody can do anything with the tokens that they have. But remember, if they're doing eShare or Rage in LP, they have to buy those tokens first. So no matter what, it's a net positive for the price and locking up tokens because any tokens in an LP is also now tokens that are not in the circulating supply as well. So there's just so many cool elements that would further the growth of all this. And yeah, even again as we're speaking, that redemption ratio is looking juicy, man. I might have to jump off and sell some. So yeah, it's cool to watch your chart move.
So let's do it. I'm gonna buy some more right now. So let's see. I want to know. Let's see. Mint E-Rage. Let's see how much I'm actually spending this time. Let's keep track because I last time
Okay,
I
perfect.
wasn't really watching too in detail.
Yep,
So I'm basically spending $2.36, or yeah, that's what I'm spending. 236, right?
yep.
Okay.
And you're getting about 1 cent of each share. That's that cash back I was saying earlier.
So I'm
All right,
assuming
and
I
it
have
goes
it now.
through.
Let's go back over here and click max. So it looks like I'm making 2 cents. Something
All right, there you go. Yeah,
like
well,
that.
and yeah, yeah, again, it will be because it's such a little amount. Obviously percentage wise. But what, two cents on $2 is about 1%, right? So that again, if you look at it as a percentage, it's bullish because now you're not only are you actually profiting and again, assuming slippage and gas and taxes and everything else, but now you're actually helping the ecosystem grow because you're providing that the volume, right? The volatility, which matters. So yeah, no doubt, bro. There you go. Now it's back down. So and again, the bigger the swing, because it's a percentage win, if you're doing it with 20 bucks, instead of, two, now you're making, 20 cents or $2. So it scales both ways.
And then again, the bigger the spike on the chart, or the higher the in the green, the more the profit, or the bigger the
Yes,
percent.
brother. 100%. Yep. Absolutely. So again, that's another thing. You can mint or buy low and just hold it and watch and say, "Oh man, somebody bought a lot. I'm gonna sell." It's one of the only situations where, it's bullish to have somebody dump on your head. Assuming that you want more eShare or Rage over the long run.
Crazy, yeah, man. I'm gonna be now. Now I'm gonna just frequent the site very often and just keep an eye on it and be like, huh. Okay, here we are. Let's mint and let's sell, or let's buy off Uniswap and hold and see what see where this goes. Because you know, I just think it's interesting, AJ, that we live in this world right now where things like this exist. I mean, go back, shoot, even like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and further, you know, we had the internet, but the only way people were making money on the internet was by, selling goods, selling services. Now we have crypto, and it's just, in my opinion, the easiest thing since sliced bread. Yet most people still don't know about it, and it's super crazy that we live in this world, and the future's only getting brighter for us.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Christian. I mean, again, bro, even if it's just fun, making a couple of dollars here and there, this is what decentralized finance, and crypto is all about, bro. It's about, not only number one, not having to rely on, anybody but yourself, self-custody, decentralization, but also cool little, protocols like this, that allow you to take advantage of arbitrage opportunities and do it in a way that doesn't hurt somebody else. Because obviously, for there to be a winner, there usually has to be a loser. But as long as your goal is accumulating eShare, then it doesn't matter. Like I said, if somebody dumps on your head, you say thank you because part of those fees or taxes have now given you more eShare. And again, mathematically speaking, the longer you hold eRage, it is impossible to get less eShare and Rage out of the redemption. So again, the dollar value might go down if the price of eShare, the price of Rage, or the price of ETH is down. But if you're focused on just accumulating actual tokens, it's mathematically impossible. So to have less. And to me, that's super interesting, right? Because all of us are here to stack eShare over the long run. This is the best way to do that for sure.
So one quick question, and then I'm gonna let you go. So
Yeah,
speaking about eShare, if let's say, for lack of a better term, I put in like $100 worth of eShare right now, right? Or what I mean by that is I put in $100 into this, right? And at the end of 1 year, I'm assuming we're looking at this APR. Probably the better APR to look at is the 30-day estimate one, is 67%. So does that mean roughly that I'm going to be, if I put $100 into here, that essentially I'm going to be getting back whatever the APR is on that $100 or so?
yeah. So it would be actually in eShare. So This is a great way of looking at this too. So, all right. So in that example, go to mint, like you have up there, 0.001. What would that give you? $100. So do 0.01. Um, that's like 50, right? So, or that's 25. So 0.04. Let's see. That would be about $100. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, right there you go. Fine, perfect. So that would give you essentially 5.7 E-Rage, which means you would get 5.7 eShare and 5.7 Rage when you would redeem. So based on that 30-day average APR, if you held for a year and everything was static based on that, that means you have 60% more each share. So whatever 60% of 5.7 is, you have like say what is that? Probably about eight or nine each share at the end of the year rather than 5.7. So yeah,
Let's just do the math real quick.
yep,
5.7 plus, we'll do 60%. 60% is another three or so E share, which would be total of nine or so E share total.
yeah,
Um,
bro. So there you go. So that would be from again that Ratchet system alone, which again to get three and again that's on a small scale, but to have three additional eShare that you've never even paid for is better than holding in your wallet for sure. So
yeah, 100%. You know what might be a good idea? I mean, this is not my protocol, but just from someone that is hype on eShare and a eShare pro eShare kind of person, maybe and I know Cool She is hype on eShare too, which is why he built this protocol. And
totally.
maybe this is a good idea, maybe it's not, but it would be for me at least. I It would be cool if I saw some sort of scale or column or something that said, kind of like how PLAZM is, like estimated PLAZM that you get at the end of your quote unquote staking period. It'd be interesting
Yes,
to
bro.
have something like that on here because maybe people are not wanting to do the arbitrage or sell or whatever. Maybe they just want to use this as kind of like a staking mechanism or a staking protocol and just to get more e-share at the end of the year or whatever it might be.
Yeah, brother, I love where your head's at, and it really is a glorified staking platform. So yeah, that's a great analogy, and I will definitely relay that message to Kulshi. I'm sure he can do a quick calculator that would demonstrate what you're saying for sure. And again, that's why it's so cool. If you don't want to, be on your computer every day looking for the opportunities, just simply minting now and holding is a win as well. So,
Awesome, AJ. Well, hey man, it's been a great time having you on and catching up with you and talking about this because this is, just launched within the last week. I'm super excited about it. I'm gonna mess with it some more. I'm gonna try to break it like I always do and see if I could come up with some new ideas on how to use it. Because I've done that with DexFi and I've gotten some pretty cool strategies now, personal strategies that I've been using with DexFi to really further my DeFi portfolio. So, anyways, man, it's
I
good
love it.
having you back, and I'm hoping that you bring some more cool stuff to us in the future.
All right, you got it, Christian. Yeah, bro. Would love to do an update video in a few weeks, and we can see the results. Like you said, I think once people start playing with it, they'll realize how cool it is. So give it a shot. Thanks for having me, bro.
All right, brother. See you on the next one.
Cheers.